Okay, after my last quick tip video, 2 comments popped up over and over and over again. The first one being, make a GoPro editing video. I'm totally gonna make that video next week, and it'll be in Premiere Pro, so if you guys are using a different editing program, still follow along, watch. A lot of the concepts will apply. We're gonna go pretty basic on that video. Just an introduction to editing GoPro footage. The second comment that popped up a ton was, are you gonna make a GoPro settings video for the Hero 8 Black? So I went and I watched my other GoPro settings video and I realized a lot has changed. See, last year's video was made using the Hero 7 Black, and it's a great camera, but one of the biggest upgrades with the Hero 8 Black, this guy, was presets. The Hero 8 Black allows you to have 8 different presets or kind of settings that I can just jump to with a click of a button, all in the little menu system back there. So switching from regular to slow-mo or wide angle and all the different settings that are kind of a pain in the butt to do on the GoPro 7 are really easy on the GoPro 8. And because things were kind of a pain in the butt on the Hero 7 to change and switch, I really had one setting that I really went with, and then in different situations I would click a couple of buttons to change one thing. But with the Hero 8, I now have 6 different presets that I jump between all the time, because it's really just as simple as tapping the thing, flipping and going blip, and now I'm in a totally different preset. So today we're gonna go through those 6 presets that I use on the regular with my Hero 8 Black. Again, if you have a Hero 7 or earlier, all these settings will still apply. You'll just have to manually jump to them, as opposed to with the Hero 8, you can just blip, blip, done. Before we jump into the Hero 8 Black settings though, you guys are amazing. We just launched these t-shirts on Tuesday, and within 24 hours they were almost completely sold out. I think we had like 2 or 3 men's shirts left and like 3 or 4 women's shirts. And they're all completely sold out, but we've already ordered a second shipment, so there will be no lapse or gap in shipping. So next week, all the shirts are gonna go out. If you have ordered one, they're all going out next week. And if you have not ordered a Be a Good Human t-shirt, it's got the little, that little logo on the back too. Head over to davidmanning.co, first link in the description, and you can pick up your own Be a Good Human shirt. Just a reminder that during these crazy times, this isn't a state thing or a country thing. This is a world thing, or it's a human thing. We're kind of all in it together as humans. Humans. I used to have a 3rd grade teacher that never pronounced her H's for things like huge. Many more shirts coming in the future, different designs, pretty much things that we say on the channel or we all come up with together will become t-shirts or hats. Maybe we'll make hats next. I don't know. You guys rock. I'm super grateful for all of you. Secondly, Patreons. You guys are so dang cool. There's already a bunch of you in there. We are gonna have our very first live Friday only for Patreons on April 3rd. So Friday, April 3rd, you guys will be getting messages before then, letting you know exactly how to see it and view it and be a part of it, but that will only be for Patreons at the $10 tier and up. Second link in the description if you want to be a part of that live stream. Also, there's gonna be some giveaways that are Patreon only. So right now there's only like 15 Patreons, I think. So the odds of winning something in the Patreon crew is high. Okay, on to today's video. We are gonna go over my 2020 best GoPro settings guide for the year. Again, that's until like the Hero 9 comes out, and then they change something on that, and then I'll have to make another one of these for then. All right, I'm gonna go through a couple of physical changes that I do to my GoPros when I first get them. We're gonna jump into the preferences, and then we're gonna move into the 6 presets that I use on the regular. Either copy my presets or make your own. It's kind of the beauty of presets is you can either just copy what I've got and it's gonna work great, or say, I like this changed differently. I like that changed differently. And then you've got your own presets. And lastly, if this helps you, hit the like button below. That helps me. All right, I have bought a GoPro. I take it out of the box. The very first thing I do is put screen protectors on. I'm gonna say this in every GoPro video.
Oh, I know I sound like a broken record, but
put screen protectors on. One on the front, one on the back. Protect this thing. The Hero 8 does not have a replaceable cover. that little screen protector is the only safety you've got. The second physical thing that I do to my GoPros is I label them. A cam and B cam. And the reason I label my GoPros is that I use 2 GoPros often. So I have one camera that I'm using as like the main camera, the one we talk to a lot. Usually there's a microphone hooked up to it. And then I have a second GoPro that's a B angle, B-roll. You get it? B camera, B-roll. That's where that name comes from. And really simply, the reason I label them is that I don't want to mix them up. I don't want to accidentally record my main shot with this camera, and then when I pull them into Premiere, those files are all in different places. I want to know everything with this camera that I'm talking to camera is in one file stream, and everything that's a second angle or is B-roll or SloMo or something else is in another stream. Stream, file, folder. Folder is what I was looking for. So a little bit of gaff tape and I have A cam and B cam. Super simple. And the very last physical change that I do, just because it's me, is I put a small silver, put a small silver thing right there. I just use a silver Sharpie and I go, because on all my batteries, I also have a small silver stripe, silver dot, whatever you want to put there. It lets me know that this side goes to this side because these are not bi-directional batteries, they are unidirectional. So if I put it in this way, it's wrong, doesn't go. If I put it in this way, line up the 2 silvers, it locks in. So I put that silver stripe on my GoPro, it's on all my batteries, and it's on my GoPro charger as well. So when I'm taking my batteries and throwing them in the charger, I don't put them in backwards on accident. I always just go silver, silver, locked in. Super easy. And I think those are the only physical changes that I do. I put screen protectors on, I label my GoPros, and then I put that silver dot at the bottom so that I know that my batteries line up properly and I'm never putting them in backwards. Okay, into preferences, and the very first thing that I change is beeps. I turn off the beeps. I don't like when my GoPro is beeping at me when I change settings, and I don't want it beeping when I start and stop a clip. The only time that I do use beeps is if I'm using the bite mount extensively to do a lot of POV stuff, or if I'm using my helmet mount and I have it mounted here, I can't see the GoPro, so I turn the beeps on so that I can hear it when it starts, and then I can hear it when I stop it. Then I know it's off. But pretty much the bite mount and the helmet mount, or maybe if I have it mounted on my snowboard helmet, anything like that, I'll have the beeps on to hopefully be able to hear it. On the motorcycle, I can't really hear it anyways, but in general, I just have the beeps turned off. Then the next setting that I have turned on, even though in my last video, I said you should turn it off to save battery, I have quick capture turned on. Again, it uses a little bit of battery, but I have lots of batteries, so I'm not super worried. And I do like the feature. I like that when your GoPro is completely turned off, I can press the button, it'll start recording, I can film something quickly, press it again, and it turns itself off. If you're low on batteries, you're concerned about batteries, turn that off. You'll save some battery life. If you have plenty of batteries, use it. It's pretty clever. Next up is LEDs, and I turn all the LEDs off. I've talked about this before, where I want my GoPro to be incognito and not let everyone know that I'm filming, and a red flashing light lets everyone know that you're filming. After that is voice control. I turn voice control off. It's a very clever feature that you can talk to your GoPro and it'll start. You can talk to it and it'll stop. It'll do different things. I just don't ever use it, so I turn it off. Oh, I didn't mention that in the last video, but that helps save battery also because it's not constantly listening for you to say something. And lastly, I go into regional GPS and I turn off GPS. I don't use the GPS data, and that does save a lot of battery. I think that's it for preferences. Oh wait, last one. I turn the grid on. Right on the back there, you can turn a grid on. That gives me my thirds that I can see when I'm recording. And that's it. No other preferences. I don't change anything else. All right, and on to settings. The thing that most people ask me about. And again, the sweet thing with the GoPro Hero 8 is that you can have up to, I think you can have 10 settings. I think you can have 10 presets. I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can have 10 different presets already set up on your GoPro that you can just tap the button, switch to them, and boom, I'm in a different setting, totally different setup. That is awesome. Definitely the best feature of the Hero 8 over the Hero 7. All right, as I show you each of these 6 presets, I'm gonna I'm gonna go get you guys some sample footage so that you can see a little bit of each preset, what it looks like, and then we'll talk about why I use each of those 6 presets. I'm gonna go skateboard around our town here because I was gonna go to the beach, but
the city of San Diego is closing all of its beaches, its parks, and its trails.
yeah, that happened. So I'm just gonna grab my GoPros. I'm gonna go skate. I'll be back. Oh, holy cow. Whew. I went out and I skateboarded for a little bit. Ugh. But I also wanted to get you guys some cool shots on the motorcycle. But I haven't ridden my motorcycle in a while and the battery died. So I had to pop start the motorcycle. Then I went riding, and each time I changed settings, I pulled over and I was like, make sure the bike doesn't turn off, because if it turns off, I'm not sure if it's gonna start again. I don't know what's going on with this battery. And I was doing great, switching between settings, pulling over, going again, never turning the bike off. And then right at the end, the very last time that I stopped, the bike shut off. And yes, the battery is totally dead and it did not turn back on, but I was on a flat surface, and pop starting a Ducati on a flat surface is just such a pain in the butt because it has to pop in second gear. It's a whole thing. Needless to say, I got my workout for the day. And I got some sweet GoPro footage. All right, my 6 presets. Let's get into the very first preset, and it's just standard. This preset is it's my go-to preset. It's the preset that I use mainly for filming just us, our daily life, things that I wanna keep for later, things that I don't want to edit. That's probably the key here with this very first setting. And this is the one that everyone asked me about in the last video. They said, hey, what about a setting that I don't know how to color grade, or I don't wanna color grade, I just wanna be able to shoot, I wanna be able to cut it, edit it, put it out there. This is the preset for you. And we're going super simple with this first preset. It is 4K, 24 frames a second, wide lens, hyper smooth high, bitrate high, shutter auto. That's right, we are letting the shutter be auto. We're not following the 180 rule because, again, this is my easy preset. This is I don't wanna have to put on ND filters. I don't wanna have to deal with that. I just wanna be able to hit go, film, get some footage. EV comp, we're gonna go -0.5, ISO min 100, ISO max 800, white balance auto, sharpness medium, color GoPro. Those last 3 are really what make a clip ready to edit and just be sent to social media, or needing to be brought into Premiere, touched up there, and color graded in post. So in this first preset, one that I wanna be able to just shoot, maybe send some clips to my phone, post straight to social media, or I just wanna be able to shoot for fun, for us. I just wanna make little videos for us that don't need to be cinematic masterpieces. Okay, my second setting, and one that I use a lot, is cinematic. And this is also gonna be the setting that requires the most work, the most amount of effort on the GoPro and in post. Because this is where I wanna shoot with a GoPro, but I wanna hopefully or attempt to color grade and make it work with other footage. So if I'm shooting on my Sonys or any other camera, I wanna be able to blend them all semi-seamlessly, and this is the preset for that. We're gonna stay 4K and 24 frames a second, but this time the lens we're gonna make linear. This is just gonna give us that really normal 35mm look that I think looks a little less GoPro-ish. Hypersmooth high, bitrate high, shutter 1/48 of a second. So we are following the 180 rule on this setting, which means that we'll have to bring in something like a Polar Pro ND filter, get this thing clamped on there, find the ND filter that is right for the current lighting situation, and get that on there. Again, this is the setting with the most amount of work. So the first preset, least amount of work. The second preset, most amount of work. We're also gonna keep that ISO minimum at 100 and max at 800. And these last 3, where it makes the biggest difference, we're gonna say the white balance as native, the sharpness to low, and the color to flat. And basically what those last 3 things are doing is telling the GoPro, don't process my image at all, don't color it, don't sharpen it, don't do anything to it, just record it and let me do everything in post. This is also the only preset out of the 6 where I will be using ND filters. I know. I love ND filters, but not always. Okay, the third preset is, It's called Travel. And it's one that we use a lot while traveling because it's very similar to the first preset, almost exactly the same, except it is 60 frames per second. And the nice thing about that, while we're out traveling, we can just be shooting around, having fun with it, and at any point we can slow down that footage to 50% and have a little bit of slow-mo feel within any clip. Because 60 frames a second is kind of that edge where you could play it back real time and it looks decent, not terrible, but you can also slow it down 50% and get a really smooth slow-mo. And the rest of the settings stay the exact same as the standard preset, which brings us to my fourth preset called SloMo. And luckily, while I was out skating, Morgan, Eleanor, and Zoe went for a walk, so I was able to use them as my example for my fourth preset. With this preset, we are dropping down to 2.7K so that we can bring our frame rate up to 120 frames per second. And at that frame rate, things are gonna look really odd if you play it back real time. So I really only go into this setting if I know for sure what I'm filming is going to be played back in slow motion. And for the rest of the settings, we're gonna stay with that wide lens, keep hyper smooth at high, bitrate high, shutter auto, EV comp -0.5, ISO min 100, ISO max 800, white balance, native, low, and flat. Again, those are the settings that I know I'm bringing this into post to slow it down already, so I might as well color it as well. And then if we're out and about and I know I just wanna shoot something slow-mo, transfer it to my phone and post it, I'm gonna just switch those last three settings to auto, medium, and GoPro color. I can shoot something, transfer it, it's ready to go. And still looks pretty decent. And then taking the slow motion one step further, we have my fifth preset called Epic. And it's the same as the last preset, but this time we've dropped down to 1080 so that we can crank up to 240 frames per second. I rarely use this one, but sometimes when you just want that like super crazy slow-mo, it's awesome to be able to just boop, epic. And for my sixth preset, which pairs very well with the bite mount, is the POV preset. This is the one that I use with the bite mount. I also use it with my motorcycle helmet. The POV preset is 2.7K, 60 frames per second, and Super View lens. The Super View lens basically records 4:3, so it's a taller frame, and then it squishes it into a 16:9. The difference between Super View and wide is just more top and bottom. It doesn't get actually wider, it's higher or taller. White balance native, sharpness low, and color flat. Most of the POV footage that I'm using, I'm integrating it into videos, so I'm gonna pull it onto the computer anyways. I might as well color it. And then same thing, if I know that I wanna just shoot that footage straight to my phone, upload it to social media, I'll just switch those last three things. And I think that's it. That is the 6 presets that I am using in 2020 with the GoPro Hero 8 Black. And any of those settings can still be used with previous GoPros. You just manually have to switch all the different settings to create that. And with the Hero 8, you just tap, swipe, tap, done. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helps you. If it does help you, hit the like button below. Think about subscribing to see more videos like this, and maybe head to the website. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. Be a good human and pick up a Be a Good Human t-shirt. Or be a great human and join the Patreon crew. They are great humans. They're like good humans, but better. And in general, guys, stay positive, stay safe, and moisturize. Oh my gosh, is anyone else's knuckles cracking? I've been washing my hands so much that my knuckles are cracking, and shirt's looking good. It's so comfy. It's like, I wish you guys could feel, the shirt through here. Maybe we'll meet up one day and you can feel my shirt. That's awkward. Just order one, then you can feel it.